Hi, and welcome to this week's episode of the Ask Jeff Show. This is episode number 15. As always, go ahead and hit the like button for me and subscribe, to my live feed. And if you have any questions, just leave them in the comment section below. So our first question, it comes from, this person. They want to know that, first they're telling me they're a control freak, and they want to know, how do I let go when I outsource or hire somebody to do something, for me in my business, whether that's, managing their ads or doing some kind of outsourcing project. So the first thing you want to do whenever you hire somebody is just set the expectation. So you always want to set the expectation so everybody's on the same page. You want to know, you want to let them know how much money you're willing to spend, how much money you're trying to get back, what kind of strategy that you're okay with, not okay with. Like, give them the guidelines and parameters for them to work within, so that way they can go and do their job. If you have any input into the strategy and what you want, that's the time to do it, is when you're setting the expectations, not as they're going along, where you're looking at it every single day and then trying to text them or email them and tell them what to do and change in real time. So set the expectations up front. The next thing is you want to set a clear line of communication. So that way you're not texting them or emailing them on a daily basis. You can say, I expect, a report once a week or daily, at the end of each day, or whatever it is. Set a clear line of communication. And then when you are communicating with them, if you're asking for something, I always say to, tell them a deadline, like, can you get this back to me by, by this date? So always give deadlines. So that way it's not open-ended. They might think, you're not in that big of a rush, so 2 or 3 days is not a big deal, where you're wanting to get it back within 24 hours. So if you're asking for something from them, just say, hey, can you do this for me, within 24 hours. And then the last thing, what it all comes down to, is results. It doesn't really matter how you get to the results. You're hiring this company for a reason, but whether it's based off of their testimonials or their track record or whatever, so you want to let them do their job. They have a very specific process and a system and a way of doing things. And when you hire somebody, it's not necessarily their job to teach you what that is. It's just their job is to get you the results. And by you asking and questioning everything that they do, it's going to hamper the results, or at least slow it down and take time. So a lot of times when it's a new company working with you, they need to learn about your business, learn about the area that you're in. There's some testing and stuff that needs to get done, but if they're as good as they say they are and their track record proves to be true, they're going to get the results within 30, 60, 90 days, and then moving forward, they should always be able to get your results. So it's more about just being patient, trusting the process, trusting the company that you're going with, and giving them a chance to get the results. A lot of time I see people, wanting the results from day one. The whole reason that you hired, somebody is because you weren't able to get the results. So if you keep wanting to do things the way that you were, just wanting them to do it, it's probably not going to work. So set the expectation up front. Let them know exactly what you're expecting. They'll let you know if it's realistic or not. Set a clear line of communication, how the best way to communicate with them. And then whenever you do ask for stuff, make sure you're setting deadlines. And then always, go off of the results. And the results, the expectation should be set, up front. And that's basically it. It's a better way to be able to micro-monitor and not micromanage, when you hire somebody to do a task or a job for you. Cool. So the second question is what numbers should I be looking at, in my marketing? So I look at it two different ways. One, we have our email marketing, and then we have our paid, PPC or pay-per-click, advertising. So with email marketing, I want to know, total number of emails. And then I want to do like new leads or opt-ins. I want to know how many promotions we sold through email or low barrier offers. Then we want to know how many of those we upsold to regular memberships. So regular memberships sold. And then how many people canceled. And some of these are going to be redundant for whether it's paid or not, but this is just in general. We want to know like the total number of emails, how much our email list is growing, how many of those are new leads out of the total number, how many promotions were bought, how many regular memberships were sold, and underneath that, You can also do, a set, show, close, how many appointments were set, how many people showed up, and then of course right here would be like how many you actually sold. So it'd be like set, show, sold, and then how many people are canceling. And this is going to give you a good overview of your entire business, because if you're not getting a lot of new leads or opt-ins and your promotions are going down, then it's going to be harder to get people to buy the set, show, close, because instead of having 100 promotions sold, you only have 50, then it's going to be hard to get the same amount of appointments set. So then you know that you need to get more opt-ins, get more people interested here, so that way when you do make them an offer or give them a promotion, you're going to sell more of the low barrier offers, which is going to make it easier to set, show, and close. But you'll also be able to tell, like if you are getting a lot of appointments set, that if they're not closing, then you know that it's a closing issue. It's not a leads issue or a promo issue. You're selling a lot of promos, they're just not closing. And then cancellations. There is no good or bad number. People always ask. We had like 250 members. We'd get maybe 1 to 2 that would cancel a month. So it's like 1% maybe. But just monitor that number. Then you'll start to know what your normal numbers are, normal percentages are. Always work to get that better, but then you also know that if there's like a spike in there for some reason, and then something's going on, maybe a trainer's acting up in a different way or something, some people aren't happy or for whatever reason. So you always want to monitor that. And then as far as the numbers for online or your pay-per-click marketing, you always want to know, so take the amount that you spent, and then from there, how many low barrier offers, opt-ins or whatever, were sold or that you got. And then you want to know the price or cost per action. So the cost per action is how much is going to, so the amount you spent divided by how many you sold or how many opt-ins you got, and then that's going to be your cost per action. And then another one that we added in here is the cost per acquisition, because and this one really only applies to low barrier offers, because you're getting money back. If you have a low barrier offer that's $47 and the cost per action is $37, then your cost per acquisition is you're getting $10 for everybody that signs up, which means you should spend more money. And then again, you should also track the same things as the other one, as far as how many low barrier offers were sold, but then how many appointments you were able to set, how many people showed up, and then how many you closed. So new memberships. And then cancellations as well. But the new memberships, would be just from these, and then the other ones would be new memberships just from your email marketing. And cancellation is going to be overall, if people are canceling overall at a higher rate than normal. And these are the numbers that you want to keep track of with your paid advertising online. Cool. And then the next question is, we had some clients in the Fitness Marketer Lab that were running post-engagement campaigns or boosting their post, and they wanted to know how to get the most out of it. They had a video, and they were trying to get people to comment, and then they wanted to message them or whatever, and then they weren't getting many people commenting, and they wanted to know how they can get the most out of that. A post-engagement campaign is really just to build a custom audience and then retarget them to your offer, whether it's a 21-day or 6-week or whatever. But you can, if you want to, try to put a call to action into your boosted post or into your post-engagement campaigns, whether it could be send us a message, if you have any questions, or send us an email, give us a call. You can put in some incentives, like the first 50 people who contact me now gets a free t-shirt or whatever, or a free week. You can throw those in there. The problem with that is that your Facebook's going to charge you more for the reach to show it to people, because there's a call to action in there that's going to take them off Facebook. If it's pure content, you're going to get 1-2 cent video views. Then people are going to digest your content, start knowing, liking, and trusting you, and then when you retarget them with your offer, more likely to buy. Where if you put a call to action in there, then it's going to cost you more for them to see that same offer, that same video. So you just got to figure out what your objective is. For the long-term success, I suggest investing, in building those custom audiences by putting pure content out there and not having a call to action. That's what your regular ads, are for, or lead ads or whatever. So if you're just doing a post engagement or boosted post, then I would make it to where, for the most part, it's just pure content, just putting out that goodwill, building up the know, like, and trust factor, and then retargeting them to an offer. Our last question for this week, they want to know, what do we do with lead ads, when using the campaign objective lead generation? So a lot of people, have been switching to lead ads because they've been working really, really well. We've been getting people a lot of leads. They just don't know what to do with them and how to get them into their business. So if you're using email only for your lead ad, you're going to get, more leads. But it's going to be harder to follow up with them and get them to come in. You're going to have a really good autoresponder campaign and setting them to content, educating them on whatever the offer is, and then eventually making them an offer, trying to get them to come in. It's a longer process, 3, 4, 5 days, 2, 3, 4 weeks, whatever. You're going to get a lot more leads, but it's going to be a longer play. You have to have some good autoresponders set up to indoctrinate them, get them to know, like, and trust you, give them good content, solve some problems for them, and then make them an offer. If you're doing email and phone, you still want to have a good autoresponder system, but you want to follow up as soon as possible. The sooner they fill out the lead form and the sooner that you call, the better chance you have of them coming in. So what we've been doing with a lot of our clients is, even on a 21-day or 28-day, some are slimmed down, or even a 6-week little black dress, whatever, sending them to a lead ad and having them put in their information, maybe answer a question, like what's your number one fitness goal, whatever, putting in their name, phone number, and then sending them to the website after that. That way the trainer can call them and say, hey, thanks for your interest, in our little black dress program. Just wanted to give you some more information about it and see if it's a good fit. Go through and start asking them some questions, qualify them over the phone, let them know that it's 2 payments of $97. For them to get started right then, it's just $97. Take the payment over the phone and then give them the start date. And they're selling them over the phone that way. So the sooner that you call them, the better. The other good thing about lead ads is that you're getting their Facebook email. So you could search for them through their email and you could friend them. And then once they accept your friend request, then you can actually send them a message on Facebook, so you can follow up that way. And then you're also following up with your emails. And the emails autoresponders here is going to be more geared towards, let me know if you have any questions about our little black dress program. It's starting soon. Doing some success stories or testimonials in there, really building up, and sending them content based around the program. And that's the main thing with the lead ads. It's all about the follow-up. The money is made in the follow-up. You can get 100 leads, but if you're only talking to 2 or 3 of them, it's not going to do you much good. You need to hit the phones and keep calling until they tell you to stop. They opted in. They gave you their information because they had more questions or whatever. So you have an obligation to get a hold of them and answer it. So that's pretty much it. That's all I got for this week. Thank you guys again. And if you have any questions, leave them in the comment section.